Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Just Roll It Already. I am your host, Daryl.
I'm your other host, Jeremiah.
Guest starring Matt.
And today we're doing Tales from the Couch, where we talk about horror stories and a few other things that come into our minds. This is a very loose style of conversation, so let's get this off. Matt, what are we wanting to talk about today?
All right, it's going to be systems we dislike, and systems we just will never, ever attempt.
We like or what?
Never attempt.
Okay, we like and we hate.
Yeah, like and we hate.
Love and hate.
Yeah, love and hate.
Okay, maybe you should give the people listening a little bit of context, because we were talking about this earlier. We decided, you know what, let's just put this on the microphones and see how this comes out.
Context.
Yeah.
Context.
Context!
Yeah. All right, see, now here, I'll go ahead and throw my, I don't particularly like 3.5.
You're going to get lynched.
I know I'm going to get lynched.
You're going to get killed by so many nerds out there. They're screaming,
I
tearing their
know.
computers on the ground, smashing them, he's going to die! Screw you!
Kill Joffrey Lannister.
Oh, I hope I'm not Joffrey, but
No.
at the end of this, I will be.
No,
Yeah, because now it throws some things around, and it's just it's a different flavor for me. I didn't particularly like it. What I will give 3.5 is, oh my god, those skills. I love the skill synergies because I can break them.
Okay.
Looking at it from a more min-maxing point of view.
From a more min-maxing point of view, I can break them. But really, from more of a role-playing point of view, it just kind of bugged me because I'm really a Pathfinder kind of guy, and 3.5 just changed all the rules that I knew about, and it just irked me in the weirdest ways.
Okay. Well, I think I'll probably follow up into the same thing for system-wise. I don't like Fate. I gave it a try. I looked at the rules. I tried to make a character. I tried to do things, and it's just a type of game that cannot wrap my mind around. And now, Fate system alone works in these things called aspects and skills and so on, but they are rated. You go from really good down to everything else, and they're not like a skill name yourself. They're a phrase, like tough as nails, or quick thinker, or lightning fast, or slow and stupid, positive and negative ones. And the dice system alone is really difficult to wrap my mind around. And it just did not work with me. It didn't click with me. I'm not one of those people who can think of that kind of stuff. And it's a very simple, streamlined game, but it's very samey to me because I look at it and say, I can say any phrase I want. Damn good looking. Sexy as a beast. Cougar in the bedroom. I don't know. Any other thing I can come up with just can't put together. And the dice system alone is really weird for me to look at because their dice are weird. They're pluses and negatives and neutrals. And if you don't have the dice, you gotta kind of try to memorize how they work, and it just messes with me.
Oh.
Now, the Fate system, is that the one where, the character sheet, you basically just, write it up? Or,
They have a weird system. It's a very simple looking character sheet with a simple health system, but they have plus something up down to negative something, and there's in between.
and you make your skills, so, you're like you're saying, I think I've heard of this system, and I wasn't really
You gotta kind of figure out how you can mess with the system of positive and negative tropes, and it just gets really obnoxious to me because I can't do it. I thought about running the game, and I thought about playing the game, and I'm not a fan of Fate, and I just don't care too much for how it builds together. That's just me, myself alone. I don't know too many people who have played Fate, and I've met a couple online, and I met one in person, and they showed me how it worked, and I said, I still don't get it, and it just doesn't really taste right to me. It doesn't feel right. If I don't love the system, I'm not gonna like the game.
Yeah.
And it's gonna mess with me because I'm gonna say I'll just act out my character. You make the character sheet for me, and you just tell me how it's supposed to be. What about you, Jeremiah?
There was a system I had to say that I couldn't particularly like so much. It'd probably be a Eclipse phase. Biggest parts about it, it's a game that's all skill-based. There's no classes. Unless you define the bodies, or your race, basically, in it as a class, then perhaps. But it's all based primarily off of skills. And it's not so bad, but it also tries too hard to make sure the skills are a different name.
Yeah.
And that's what I really kind of irks me. They have free running, or just call it acrobatics, or
They try too hard to be different.
They try way too much to call their words different. They use different synonyms. They use synonyms to change it up so they can be different from other gaming systems. It's a bit pretentious, but at the same time, I don't like when they try to do that, because sometimes it's call it what it is. It's dodge. That's dodge. Why don't you just call it dodge? It's something I hate in a lot of games when you don't just use words that make more sense. Like Pathfinder, it's not their Death Knight, their Dark Warrior, their Blackguard, their, Unholy Avenger.
Yeah.
It's called an anti-paladin. I hate that. I love Pathfinder to death. One gripe I have with Pathfinder, they have the anti-paladin. Anti-paladin? That is the stupidest name ever for any class.
You could have done like Dark Paladin or maybe like
a Dark Templar.
I honestly, Death Knight is just so good. It's delicious.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like sure, it's cliche, but it's better than anti-paladin. You have to anti-paladin. It's almost like your aunt, like Auntie Paladin. You're here today. It's the worst name ever for a class. Like, it's the opposite of this other class. It's the anti. It's like they put a mustache on it. And now it's the evil version.
It's the evil.
The channel narrative energy. That's it. Like, blah. That is stupid. I hate that. I hate it. I hate that.
All right, Matt. What's the next thing you want to say?
I want to say something that will make me into Joffrey because I'm going to say something that will probably burn this video. I like 4.0. Dun, dun. And I'll tell you why. Because they put in some stuff that I think is honestly really useful and interesting. The idea of swarms and minions. Minions have 1 health point. They have like barely any AC, so as long as you don't roll a 2, no, you kill it. And I think it reinforces and makes the player feel powerful and strong even at lower levels.
Lord of the Rings Goblin Town.
Yes.
That scene from The Hobbit, the Goblin Town, those are minions. Like you just see them just wailing through a cord.
And the only one that was somewhat of a challenge was the king.
Yeah. He was a bigger minion, I guess you call him.
Yeah.
But stuff like swarms, where you don't have to have it based on like a hex or square system. You could just go, oh, okay, you throw a splash weapon into the swarm. Well, yeah, they're all clumped together. They're all gonna be burning. So yeah, you take out 3 out of the 6 guys.
Okay. So that's pretty much. You also were talking about earlier about how you like action points.
Action pointing. Action points are just they're my bread and butter because there's something that just it reinforces that, like, it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel awesome. Like I would go up to the big baddie and I'd hit him for some decent damage. Or say I fudge my roll and I roll a 1. I don't hit. I don't do anything. I action point and use a daily or an encounter power or something like that. And so I turn my fudged roll into like a feint. I drop my sword out of my right hand to pick it up with my left and crack him up against the head.
Yeah, it's more like this guy needs to be hit one more time. If he's not hit one more time,
we're all gonna die.
Yeah, he's gonna finish the spell that kills us. So you spend those action points so you can make sure that attack goes through. Yeah. I didn't get that, but my little gripes though with 4.0. Now you've kind of put a moot point on my argument already because it is true. The big argument I have with 4.0 is that and the lore. Now, for those D&D aficionados out there, in 3.5, to become a Drider is a curse. You were cursed by Loth to become a Drider. But in 4.0, a Drider is seen as a sign of nobility. And I just don't like it when they do a whole 180 in lore, like when they go from one edition to another. I don't really like that. But as Matt has said, would you like to reiterate?
Yeah, I kind of poked a hole in that. In how many games have you ever played that lore was really recognized and held to?
Like they used Wizard of the Coast lore. Yeah, most games they homebrew their lore. So granted, it's a moot point. But also, things I really didn't like about 4.0 is that lore, that really irked me.
Yeah, lore irked you.
Yeah, that just hurt me really bad inside.
I know you were saying so. There are of skills, which I agree with.
They lack skills. That is something
you don't need too much, but don't want too little.
Yeah, you need to find the right balance.
Yeah. And I honestly do think Pathfinder, you could etch some of them off, but 4.0 really did a hack and slash job of don't need knowledges, don't need this or that or that.
Yeah, that really just.
Why
play a bard?
Yeah.
Took away my favorite class.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to think of other systems. I'm probably going to go with a positive one this time, and like you did with some of the system you liked. And I'm going to have to say I liked Anima, Beyond Fantasy. Okay, that game was very unique. When I caught on to it, yeah, there's a little bit of number crunching going on, but it was kind of felt like it was fun. It wasn't like Eclipse Phase when it felt like forever to build a character. No, this one was a percentile too, but you want to go high.
Yeah.
And its numbers went off the roof. You sit there and you say, oh, I just attacked for 150 points. Well, I rolled a critical, so I roll again. That's in a high threat range. I'm going to keep on rolling, and you can possibly go up to like 400% of what you initially rolled.
Yeah.
And this game just gets way, way ramped up. This is a game that takes the awesomeness, turns it up to 11, breaks off the knob, and says, let's rock.
Yeah.
Because that game was awesome. A little bit, I'm sure that there's a little clunky things here and there that could be shaved off and changed. And I'm sure they'll change a few things in the future. And I haven't played it for a while, but I have to say, I loved it. I like the combat system. I love the story and the lore. I like the world. Even though I kind of throw out worlds all the time. Yeah. And it became kind of a pinnacle of what I have to say is it comes down to a very complex system. This is the system that I would want to play. I like the idea of playing such a diverse amount of characters, such a changed amount of ideals. It even says yourself, if you like anime and you like the anime worlds, why don't you like just change it? I mean, if you felt like playing, hey, let's be all ninjas in Naruto. Yay, we're in that world.
Yeah.
But you get to do all the crazy crap.
Like, I know, what is it? We just talked about him in our last video.
Oh, the
Gunnar sent us. He's so fabulous.
Yes, the Mr. Man. This is the game that has the style skill, which makes you look awesome. Like you sit there and it says like, so you get punched in the face, you roll it, and you can sit there and have the blood go down your face dramatically, and you wipe it off. Or your movements are very similar to the lightning strikes in the area, or the explosions, or whatever.
Yeah. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nobody. When you hit the bad guy, the volcano explodes behind you in a very elegant display.
Or maybe even if you're fighting in the volcano, erupting everything, you are just doing everything like every strike and ferocious look. The lava comes up and it nikes your eyes, and you look fiercer than ever. And
it's the scene from episode 3 of Star Wars when they're fighting on the lava planet.
And unfortunately, they're failing all their style roll.
So yeah.
But I mean, style felt like to me like here's a stat where if you play it correctly, you can kind of fudge it to be other stats.
Yeah, but also on top of that, it's a useless stat a skill stat thing that everyone took. I mean, after everyone took their experience points and started putting it into style, and everyone's like being so crazy.
Stupid. That was hilarious, though. At the beginning of the character creation, I had 55 points in style.
That's a high amount too.
That is a high. That like you really shouldn't put 55 points in style.
Yeah.
What do? Freaking nothing. But you know what? I look glorious doing it.
I put 50 points into bread making.
50 points into bread making.
Yes.
You've never tasted a loaf like mine.
Yes. Well, it's sort of like you took style and you kind of did what I did, like how I showed people how amazing presentation can be. Mm-hmm. Like I just shown well, if you use it correctly, it can be pretty broken.
Yeah. But that's the system I like. Now, Jeremiah, is there a system that you like?
Yeah.
Again, system I love. You turned me on to it, and that is I love Pathfinder. I fell in love, it's a love affair. This just went in a spiral. I am so obsessed with Pathfinder. It's great. I love it.
We're just gonna find you in your room with like some Pathfinder books and some Barry White playing.
Yeah. And just candles, some candles. I love perception is one of the biggest things I love, and
love perception.
Just takes all of those needlessly spread across skills and consolidates it into one skill, which works. Well, spot, search, listen.
Well,
perception.
Another thing that I know why you like it is because it's so similar to 3.5, but it took the things that were wrong in 3.5 and kind of changed it a bit to make it different. I mean, the game is very similar, but it's different because CMB, CMD...
How'd you do away with that, though? I don't like that part.
I like it. It works out great for me because when it comes down to people saying, oh, I want to grapple him, I'm like, okay, cool. I want to do this. If it's a move that you don't understand or it's too complicated for you to try to figure out a rule, CMB, CMD.
I can see that. I get that. But, when it comes down to basic grapples, it almost seems unnecessary. But, I understand that, though. Complicated maneuvers, yes, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and then also the skill system alone. I didn't like the max ranks and max and min ranks. Hated it. I absolutely hated it. They changed it to the point that I understood it. I read that thing, says, cool. I don't have to worry about that ever again.
Yeah. The big reason I like about limiting ranks is so players who are min-maxing can't out of the gate do some sort of destructive, my bluff is so high, I do what I want. Like, I just bluff my way through everything. I'm level 1. It's like, oh, this is stupid. Like, that's,
Yeah, like I had to get up to level 6 to be able to do that.
Like, I can't just allow, it allows a GM some time to prepare. Like,
Well, it's a game that's been simplified to the point that you feel, hey, this game feels great.
yeah, it's simple. It's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's
I like Pathfinder. I enjoyed the Living Daylights out of it. I own a lot of the books. I play the game a lot. I'm kind of burnt out on Pathfinder, and that's why I've been playing Eclipse Phase, because I haven't played it for so long. And I might move on to other game systems too soon. Maybe Dragon Age system with the Age system, or maybe even busting out Shadows of Stern and finally play that game.
Yeah.
And I think this is a pretty short one so far, so I think we're going to add on something new, something a little bit different.
Well, what about games you might want to play?
Might want to play? I could say Shadows of Stern, but I'm going to tell you something. What kind of game setting would you never play in? Let's give our listeners and players, our players, and we'll call you all players,
Never play
a setting that we'll never play in, like something you never will. And I'm going to give it out there. I'm going to get probably grilled by this group of people.
I wouldn't care.
And that would be, I would never, ever in a million years, I don't care how much, well, maybe I might if you paid me enough, but
You can do just about anything if you get paid enough.
Maybe.
I will be very reluctant to play in a My Little Ponies RPG. And I've seen people offer me online on chat room saying, hey, I got a game going on. I know you do this. How about you play in my MLP game? And I sit there and I say, I will kill you. I will never touch this.
Daryl, friendship is magic.
Come on, don't you want to adventure with Pinkie Pie, Twilight Sparkle, and Applejack?
I love Twilight Sparkle.
Well, yeah, okay. Twilight Sparkle, the Flying Unicorn, Applejack, the magic one, and Pinkie Pie. Is she the one with like the purple fur?
No, she's the pink fur.
Okay,
Pinky.
Pinkie Pie.
Is in the name.
Can't even get anything right, Daryl.
Oh.
whatever. You got you got like Discord, the princess of the world. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
And I'm sure somebody's screaming at me right now. It's like, no, Discord's the evil dragon in the movie.
Yeah, he's just like,
What are you good at?
there's a butter troll out there who's crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a brony. I don't understand it at all. I will never be a brony, and I don't ever want to play in those games. They're just, it's a little kid show. I think that's what the main reason why it bothers me. And another thing is that I don't care about ponies. I'm sorry, but somebody asked me once, what's your cutie mark? And I said, it's a big middle finger towards you right now because I'm not going to bother.
Well,
or I'm blank because I don't talk about this theoretical bullcrap about a children's TV show. So are you allowed near elementary schools, by the way, sir? Because
I like to corrupt the youth of today.
corrupting the youth.
if you're a fully grown adult getting into a fight with a little girl about which pony's the best, you have something
I will
wrong
punch
with you.
a little girl. I will. How dare you? Twilight Sparkle is the best.
Now,
I will deck you.
Yeah. Now, coming from a brony, I'm piling on just the amount of people who want to hate me.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? There's a lot of bronies in game that you don't even know about.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, but Anyways, whatever. Pinkie Pie and Twilight Sparkle, whatever. I might play that game, but I think one game that I would probably never play in because I just hate it so much, and I know it's out there because subscribe to some online site that has RPG guides. There is a Neon Genesis Evangelion RPG.
Ew.
I hate. I'm just a psychotic robot. I just hate Neon Genesis Evangelion for the life of me.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
Good. I like the anime. He doesn't, but like I said, I'm a huge anime nerd, so that's.
I like some animes too, but I'm not a freak. I'm not Mr. Otaku sitting in the corner saying, I love you, anime hentai doll. I love you so much.
I'm not
Anime
that
hentai
bad,
fellow.
but I'm pretty bad when it comes to anime.
Shinji is useless.
He is.
Ray is. My God, you are just insane.
You have a lot of problems.
You have a lot of problems,
Someone has
lady.
daddy issues. Yeah.
Yes, someone has daddy issues, especially when you
Don't they
like
all
that
do?
main. Oh, they all do.
Okay, I was going to say, maybe the author has a problem with them, apparently.
Yeah. Well, like the main character likes the other one, and when they finally, she zips up and just says, "Well, maybe when you could last as long as your dad, We can talk.
Ah.
And then
No.
it broke me, and so that's why I will never play it, because I know I've seen it and I don't ever want to freaking touch that.
Jeremiah.
Horrifying.
You know, it's hard to say because I'm a very open-minded man. I do a lot of things. I live a very crazy lifestyle. And so, like, you know, I guess the only thing I cannot stand, and it's more my points of view, I can't stand anything that's like, say, pro-racism or pro-sexism. So, like, if there is a campaign out there, games out there that's like, Rise of the Third Reich, like, for ages 8 and up, like, that I will not play. You know, like, you know.
Beat Your Wife Simulator 3.0.
Yeah, like, I can't, like, it's hard for me to think of a game that I really just don't like. I mean, I can think
I can name one that could probably kill you right now.
well, I might know it actually. It might help me here. So,
Fatal. You look it up. You're gonna look at it, and it's an acronym, and you'll find out as you read it, it is debated one of the worst RPGs ever created. You'll find it. It's on YouTube.
Now, maybe there is this one anime. Now, it is, or anime, game, RPG, that's based, it's anime-like. What I don't like it is, like, it's like the Fate system, actually. When you describe the Fate system, all I'm thinking of is this, and I keep wanting to call it anime, because it says right in the first cover, this is basically like an anime. Oh! And which actually that kind of irks me itself, but like, I don't want to play it because it's an anime-based game. I want to play an RPG. So, you create the character sheet, almost. But there's no loot. There's no anything like that. You write down, like, your motivations and your demotivators. And you can basically play anything. But beyond that, there's really no rules. And I believe it's like a D6 system. It's so simplistically stupid. It's too simple. Like, the whole KISS, keep it simple, stupid. No, this is too simplistically stupid. And it really, it's rough and bad. And I feel like it needs a lot more work, actually.
Well, we're talking about settings or games that you would need.
This is a system.
No,
Yeah.
not a system.
Oh.
We're not talking about systems here.
Oh,
No, we're talking about like games we'd never
Setting.
play in.
settings. All right. Well,
Settings.
I redact that and give you my first one: racism and sexism. I can't
Yeah.
stand that. Or rape. Like, you're playing the rape role player. Like, what? Yeah, go through the city and find your victims, prey upon them, and take what you want. Like, whoa,
Yeah, you're not
No.
psychotic.
no, like that's not
Yeah,
gonna.
that's like,
Yeah, we're not nutcases here. I mean, I've played some pretty weird characters. And Matt, you played really weird characters. Jeremiah, you have borderline insane, but you have like a conscience.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna play. If at any point the GM's like, okay, so for our setting, and at any point he says like ethnic cleansing in the description, no, it's
Okay,
yeah.
a quick gaming story thing before we wrap things up. All right, one thing that you probably would have chimed in too. I was running a Pathfinder game a while ago, and Mr. Buttersworth was there, and they were trying to figure out how they're going to get information out of torture, and he said, "Let's do rape." Everyone in unison. No.
Like, what?
I almost threw him out of my house saying, "You do not suggest that kind of stuff
No.
because there's some things that you don't touch in games."
Yeah, like, you don't just
Like-
dude.
Okay,
That
even
is
incredibly dramatic backstory with which was funny when you told me it about the little orc girl in the brothel.
Yeah.
Hey, like, you just like I like metagamed, like, I went out of character, like, I'm going to rescue this little girl from this, even though my character was chaotic and outlawed,
She
like,
would never do that.
no, but myself in real life, like, I can't leave this girl to the whims and machinations of this brothel. I have to save her. I can't let her just be taken.
It's more the lines that you sat there and you said, "No, I will not go on your dramatic backstory route, but I will beat it."
Well,
Yeah. And you beat it in the funniest way. He tried to give you an NPC to follow you.
No, yeah.
You threw that thing to the side. No!
No, I will not.
Bad NPC!
I don't want Ray to follow me around.
Really was
Yeah, he made Ray, but as a little orc girl.
terrible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So, anyways, I think that will do it for this horror stories of the day, and also a few of the things that we will probably never ever touch. And maybe a few things we love. Well, anyways, if you hate us right now and if you love us right now, please like, subscribe, comment below, send us a message at our Gmail at justrolledalready.com. I hope you have a good day, and if you have anything you want us to sit there and cry about on the mic sometimes, please, we are always open for suggestions.
Yeah.
All right, you have a good night, all.
yep. And
Or day.
good night from Twilight Sparkles 92.
Goodbye from Matt. By the way, 4.0 rules. Oh, what you gonna do?
Nothing, because there's a lot of 4.0 players out there that like that are more open.
Yeah.
They changed all their hate from 4 to 5.
Next.
So, ba-da-da-da-da-da.